I heard.
You did.
Yeah, the other one's in Providence College. Anyway, that I come from that, and that's what this is about. It's about families that are working harder and harder today to get ahead, and finding it more and more difficult. So you know exactly what it is. It's families who sit around the kitchen table, and what do they see? They see the highest utility bills in the continental United States. What do they see? They see property taxes going where? Going up. What do they begin to see? The fuel oil man showed up today and he dropped a load. College tuition, you name it. A boss who every year has to take a bigger and bigger chunk out of the paycheck in order to pay for health benefits. And if there's one issue, let me say one issue and then we'll talk. It's probably as important as any, and I think just illustrates entirely what this election about, is health care. And I'll say a word about it. There are 370,000 people in this state with no health insurance. Let me tell you something about that number. I'll tell you two things about that number. That's 50,000 more than a year ago. 50,000 more than a year ago, and I'll tell you something else. Half those people without health insurance, they're working. They're working. These are people who are losing health benefits. Want to understand this? That strike at Sikorsky? People went out for 7 weeks without taking a paycheck. What was that strike about? It was about health benefits. And what those folks saw, hard-working people, right, go to work every day, work their rear ends off, and they saw their health care disappearing. You know what else this is about? It's about small business. Your small business today? Go try to buy health insurance for your employees. And then see what it's going to cost a year from now or 2 years from now. It's impossible. And you know, the other problem is this. If you don't have health insurance, you still get sick. But you know what you do? You wait till you get real sick. And then where do you go? What's the most expensive health care in the United States? Who pays for the emergency room services for the uninsured, do you think? You all do. You pay for it two ways. The state pays $40 million cost of uncompensated care, and then you pay for it your health insurance premium. Because if someone else isn't paying, you are through your premium. A state that wants to grow jobs, that wants to create a more productive workforce, a state that wants to reduce costs, is going to do universal health care. 3 weeks ago, we put out a plan for universal health care in this state that would be paid for by eliminating half the corporate loopholes in the corporate income tax. Jody Rell attacked it immediately. That's how I knew we were right. And then Dan Malloy said that John wants to insure everybody. That's going to be tough. That's going to be hard to do. And that's exactly the point. All the good things in life are what? They're tough. They're hard to do. All right? Nobody ever handed you anything in your lives. What you got, you worked for, you worked hard for, and you never made any apologies for because you were doing it for your family, so your kids would have a chance to do better than what you had to do. You know who this election is about? And we in the Democratic Party sometimes forget about it. You know, we'll either talk about the very poor. Let me tell you, I know the needs of the very poor. I come from the second poorest city in the state of Connecticut. Their needs are acute and difficult. Or we talk about the very rich and what we're going to do about the very rich. But you know who we always forget, don't you? We forget the third group, right? It's the group in the middle, right? It's the larger group, the bigger group, the group that goes to work every day, is feeling today it's working harder and harder about. That's who this election is about. It's not about Jody Rell, and it's not about Dan Malloy, and it's not about me. It's about you. It's about your families. It's about your communities. It's about what they're going to be like 2 or 3 years from now. And whether you really believe we can do something about it. I'm telling you, I came out here tonight, and you're sitting here tonight, because we believe you can do something about it. And you understand it's more than hard work. Right? We all know this. We all know this from our life's experience. We know it's more than our own hard work. And this is what makes us Democrats and what makes us different than Republicans. And it's the fact that every road we've ever traveled to get anything good in our life was paved by somebody else. You think about it. Every road we've ever traveled to anything good, to anything positive, was paved by somebody else. See, somebody else, they got together. They figured out what was important to do. And they figured out a way to do it. You know? When they went out on strike at Sikorsky, you know, what did Jody Rell do? Nothing. Left them out there 7 weeks. Did the company win? Nope. Did the workers win? Nope. I had a dispute in my town between Yale and New Haven Hospital. Right? Wanted to build a cancer center. It sits in one of the poorest neighborhoods in Connecticut, called the Hill neighborhood. Had a union organizing drive going on for 7 years. I've been in this fight for 7 years. I didn't stand back. I brought them all in the office. It took 6 months. But at the press conference we had, you know what the president of the hospital said? Win, win, win. Win, win, win. That's what we need to be in the business of here, creating a win for everybody. And I'll tell you, if there's a difference about how I approach this, I'll tell you it's this. And I'll tell you it's how we win the election. You know, we're going to win this election because we make this election more than about offering Jody Rell light. This isn't about offering Jody Rell light. This is about offering a vision and a direction that speaks to the things that working families feel. That's why the difference between universal health care and Jody Rell nowhere and Dan wanting to ensure the children is important. We got to offer a choice. We got to say that we can't sustain the system of being the most dependent state of the 50 on the property tax to finance our public schools. And we need to say exactly, we're not for cutting the estate tax. We're for a millionaire's tax. We're for providing relief for the people in the middle who pay the property tax and pay more and more of it each and every year. Our ideas are important. Now look, the money is important, and I've raised $3.3 million, more than any Democrat ever has. I've got $600,000 in the bank, more than Dan Malloy as of today. And the union support, sure it's important. In the 30 unions, over half the membership of the AFL-CIO, we had 300 union organizers at the campus at Gateway Community College on Saturday, our first organizational meeting of the labor field operation that's going to win a primary and win a general election. Also important. What's really important is that we're going to stand up and use government to make a difference in the lives of working people. Use it to make a difference, and the people have to pay the property tax, have to confront how we pay for our public schools, don't have access to health care. That's what we come together for. That's what sustained us as a party. That's how we got on the road that we were on. I tell you, yesterday was a sweet day for me. It really was for Kathy and I. It was a wonderful day, and we all know these moments. But I'd be lying if I told you that Kathy and I did it wrong. Right? It was the University of Connecticut. And I tell you, the tuition was $16,000. I'm paying Providence College. That's $38,000. I know the difference. It creates choices and opportunities for these kids. And I was sitting there in Gamble, and I was looking around, and, I was just, Kathy and I met in Yukon like 100 years ago. And, I was looking around at these kids, and I know a lot of my son's friends. These are Connecticut kids. Connecticut kids that come from average families who just carry all the hopes and dreams of their parents. That's what we're about. That's what this government's about. That's why I'm running for governor, and that's why I appreciate you staying up when waiting for me to get out here. So thank you so much. Maybe I'll talk about what you want to talk about.